What's up, everyone? Have you ever wondered how you could make snakes and dragons like this in Tinkercad? Well, today I'm going to show you. Okay, the first thing you're gonna want to do is you're gonna want to make a new thing, and you're gonna name whatever you want. I'll just name it Articulated Dragon Test. And you're gonna want to grab a sphere, place it down, and then the next thing you want to do is grab a cylinder and you size it. I usually like to go maybe 7 by 7, and you're gonna make it a hole. 7 by 7 might be a little bit too big. Maybe I might go 5 by 5, and then you're just gonna move it over to your sphere. And you're gonna put it in here so it's centered. You're gonna select them and you're gonna group so you have this hole. And sometimes if you do it, it might not look good, so you can press the undo. You're like, oh, I want this a little bigger. You can go like that. You can push it back in and you can regroup it. You can do it however you want, but you just want to end up with something like this. And if you have something like you can have it like this. It doesn't really matter. It's all the same. And then the next thing you're gonna want to do is you're gonna grab a triangle. It's actually called the roof in this, I'm pretty sure. And then you're gonna rotate it to 90 degrees. And you're gonna also make this a hole. And you're gonna push it in, kind of like not super far, but far enough where it'll kind of cut this off. And then you're gonna make a copy, line them up, and then turn this one upside down. And you're gonna want to make sure you get the measurement perfect. And sometimes if you mess it up, you might have to just try again. But that's what I'm gonna do because I did not do that one well. I'm just gonna try again. And then you're going to move it up so the two triangles like points touch each other. If you're just doing this with regular blocks and not scaling anything yet, and you can see those 2 points touch each other, and then you're going to select all and group. So you're gonna have something like this, and then you want the bottom to be flat because you just want it to be flat. So you're gonna take a block, and I like to put it here so it like makes it flat but not like entirely cut off. So you're gonna move it to where you want it, and you're gonna make this a hole. Select group, and then it's flat here, so you can select it and then bring it down so it's level with your work plane. And that means design the connection point. So it's pretty simple. You just take a cylinder and then you can make it, I'm probably gonna go 3 by 3, maybe 4 by 4. The size you make is all dependent on what you made, how big you made this, and you're gonna test it by moving it into this hole. And if it fits with a little bit of room to spare, then you've done it correctly. And you can just move this aside for later. And then we're gonna have to make a hole in here for the actual connection. So you're going to take a sphere. I don't want it to be the size of this because that won't work. So I'm going to make mine probably 15 by 15. And then I'm going to put it in. I'm going to make it a hole. And then move it in here. And you might move it kind of far in. But the thing you're checking for isn't it like kind of starts to come through. And you know you'll done it right if it's like coming through just a little bit. And when you're here, you might want to do some adjusting, maybe make it a bit taller. So right there, it's coming out, so you bring it down. And you might want to move it to the side. Like this. But I usually like to have mine like this. And then you will group it. So you're going to do that. And then it looks a little bit wonky, as you can see, because of the stuff. So you're going to grab another cube. And you're going to push it in. You make this a hole. You're going to look at it. This looks good. And then you're going to group this one and this one. And now you can see it's a good circle. And you want this part to be hollowed out. So maybe I didn't do this perfectly. So I'm going to bring this down here and move it over. I didn't do mine perfect here, so I'm going to make it a hole. Then group these two. And this is pretty much how you're going to want it. And then we still need to save this. We're going to grab a block. And you're going to want to make it pretty thin. This all depends on how big this is. I made this a 4x4. So this is also going to be 4x4. Or at least 4 wide. And you don't want it to be too thick. You can make it probably 1 thick, maybe 2. Like tall. And you're going to bring it here. You're going to move it up. And you're going to kind of want it in here. So you can adjust this. I'm going to make mine too tall. And it's going to look something like this. And they're going to adjust it up so it's level with this. And this is how it should look. And you might want to move this in a bit. It all depends on how you want it. And you're probably going to want to move this in a little bit because that's pretty long. And you could either make this longer or shorter depending on how long of segments you want or how like stretched out they are. But I like to do pretty short. And you bring this back over from earlier. And the reason we make it the same length is so we can do this. So I'm going to scale this up. And it makes them like connected. And this one probably needs to get shorter. I'm going to probably make that 10 long. I'm going to move this over. And I'm going to bring this down. Now, this part can be kind of hard. Because you need to obviously connect this to here. So, we have to scale this in. And this is kind of precise. Because if it messes up, it might ruin this. So you have to be kind of cautious. But ours is looking pretty good. And if you have it like this, you might want to be like, oh, I don't like that. I'm going to move it in a bit. So you're going to do that. And now what you're going to do is you're going to copy and paste this. So you're going to select all, Control C, Control V. I'm going to move it over and see if it all fits. So you're going to move it in, and you're like, okay, this one is too short because these are touching. So you're going to undo and maybe bring this out a bit. And this is still connected, so we don't have to add any extra support there. And then you're going to copy and paste it. And this one looks good. It looks good, but we're just going to zoom in to make sure these aren't touching. That's perfect. And you have this. And you copy and paste it and all of that. And if you want to make it really long, you can make it curve, which is pretty easy. All you have to do is go like this. You get it in here, turn it, and adjust it so it fits. And that's how you make a curve. And be careful when you're curving it, because sometimes it'll touch. So you just have to be careful on how you do it, and make sure you do it correctly. And that is how you make an articulated dragon on Tinkercad. Thanks for watching.